Hey, just want to make a quick video to address something when it comes to the label Krav Maga, okay? Not an actual system, the label. So a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine who's recently got into Krav Maga, more so the label, and I'll explain why. So he's recently gotten into Krav Maga, and knowing my background, he asked me to recommend him some other instructors or books of educational purposes that he thought might be helpful. He said, "So yeah, do you know any like really good Krav Maga instructors?" And so I said, "Yeah." So I gave him the names of them, and then a few days later, he comes back to me saying, "Hey, I asked for Krav Maga instructors. You know, this guy Richard Dimitri doesn't teach Krav Maga. He teaches, Senshido, and then this other guy Chris Roberts, he teaches under the name Safe International." He's like, "I wanted to learn, Krav Maga, not these other styles." I'm like, "Okay, well, here's the thing. When I say the words Krav Maga, what I mean when I say that is any form of self-defense that is solely focused on giving the most important information and the most effective information in order so that individual can survive dangerous situations. Really, that's all it is to me. There's a bunch of different styles of Krav Maga out there. There's like security Krav Maga, you've got commando Krav Maga, the list fucking goes on, okay? Krav Maga now has spawned out and gone in a lot of different directions. Some of them have gone a better direction, and they're coming up with a lot of stuff that I find is really effective. Other ones going way downhill. So when I say Krav Maga, from now on, you'll know what I mean. So similar to when James Yeager said all guns should be Glocks. When he said that, he didn't mean Glock as in the brand name. He meant any firearm that was free of hammers. What was it they said? Free of hammers, switches, levers, and buttons. He said that you should be able to take it out and not have to worry about any of these like external safeties and stuff like that. And I agree. That's why I do like my pistol of choice is still Glock as in the brand name. But another one I also quite like is the 6-hour P320. But I'm getting off topic here. But so yeah, Senshido to me. Yeah, that's solely aimed at self-defense. I mean, real self-defense. They teach, the psychological aspects. They teach techniques that involve gross motor skills, nothing fine motor. Because under high-stress situations, for the most part, unless, like, it's a very, very small percentage of people in the world, less than 1%, will be able to pull off fine motor skills in a real life or death situation. But most people aren't like that. Most people will only have access to the gross motor skills. So that's where that system comes into play and is quite effective, along with a lot of other styles of, what's just got the label Krav Maga in it. Now, when I think Krav Maga, to me, that means something more than just a label or a name that's in an existing self-defense or combative system. When I think Krav Maga, what I believe that should mean is a system that is aimed at self-defense, aimed at an individual's survival, and aimed at giving them the best form of techniques that any individual can be able to pull off under high-stress situations where you only have access to gross motor skills. The other thing is that when it comes to reality-based self-defense, I don't believe that there should be a set list of techniques that are forever set in stone. As time goes on, weapons change, criminal tactics change, the technology changes, the world changes around us, and therefore situations that we may find ourselves in will also change. I mean, think back at a time where guns didn't exist and the predominant weapon that people would use were, what, swords, bows and arrows, and knives. Back then, there was no need for a gun disarm technique because they didn't exist. However, these days, gun violence is becoming a lot more rampant. Not so much in Australia, but definitely along in some areas such as Europe and America. And so that's why the techniques in a particular system needed to change. If, like, say, an ancient system like Kung Fu or whatever only stuck with what it is that existed at the time that the system was perfected, how would they expect to evolve? And a lot of these traditional martial arts didn't evolve, and that's, because why they still call them traditional martial arts. It's in the title, traditional. So yeah, if there is someone that's solely obsessed with a particular Krav Maga system only because it has the words Krav Maga in it, to me it's just a label. It's no longer, self-defense to me. And anyway, for everyone that also wants to compare like the little differences between, this form of Krav Maga or, this form of other reality-based self-defense system, let's just say we take like the best form of Krav Maga you can think of and compare it to Senshido. To me, they're both founded under the belief of self-defense and effective techniques. So, to tell me that, they're not the same because of these little insignificant differences, even though the mindset of it is still the same, it's like saying when someone's like, oh yeah, I'm actually Catholic, I'm not Roman Catholic. It's the fucking same thing to me. I mean, you go to church every Sunday, you worship a God, and then you probably don't fucking live by the words you preach anyway, but I'm getting too political now. So, from now on, when I say Krav Maga, basically what I mean is just reality-based self-defense. So if I recommend some instructor on self-defense, or if I say, oh yeah, he teaches Krav Maga, that's just what I mean, alright? Thank you for watching.